Hey, universe and spiritual family, it's your girl Zaya. So, for those who don't know me or are not familiar, I am Psychic Medium Zaya. I live around the world, but currently I'm based back in my hometown of New York City. Yeah. And in this particular video, I wanted to do a review on Psychic Medium Anthony Mrocka's Platform Mediumship class that I took just this past weekend in Arizona. In Phoenix, Arizona, and to talk about my experience and my experience with Anthony and what we learned and so forth. So for those who may be new, make sure you hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I put up a new video, okay? And again, I live over at www.zya.global is my website. You can book a psychic reading with me. You can maybe join me for some live classes or receive classes on anything from crystal healing, magic, to psychic development. And of course, I'm all over the web as Psychic Zaya, IG, YouTube, Facebook, all right? So really quickly, for those who don't know, what exactly is, being a psychic and what's being a medium and what is evidential mediumship and platform mediumship. So psychics are, they say all mediums are psychics, but not all psychics are mediums. And so psychics are basically people who can see the past, the present, and the future. They can tap into, we can tap into another realm to be able to tell you what's happening with you, your loved ones, etc. A medium literally talks with the deceased. They talk with spirits. We talk with angels. I speak with the ascended masters, the angels. Okay, so psychics, we have to use different, what they call clairs, our sight, second hearing, second sight, second knowing. As mediums, you combine those gifts with the ability to speak to the deceased, angels, dead people, dead pets, etc. Okay. Evidential mediumship is basically where you are providing evidence. If I did a medium reading for you, I would have to provide evidence to you that I have your loved one and not Daffy Duck or someone else, okay? And that is a skill set that you build over time. How do you present to your client to make sure that you have someone that they are aware of? Now, sometimes people don't necessarily know their family member, so it doesn't help very much. But if you get a father or a loved one that they actually know, there will be ways that spirit will provide you with a list of items, okay, and I'll talk about that in another video, a list of evidence to let that person know, hey, I've got your father here, okay? So platform mediumship is what you see what Teresa Caputo does, where she reads for thousands of people in an arena. And I have been a practicing psychic medium with my own private practice, full-time psychic medium, and doing one-on-ones. I've done small, tiny group sessions, but mostly one-on-one medium readings and psychic readings. But I want to be like Teresa Caputo. I want to be able to reach thousands because, one, it's a business model that I admire. Two, it's imperative. I've been told by my angel guides that I need to serve the masses. I need to serve at a larger scale than what I'm doing. And frankly, when you work one-on-one, there's only so much you can do. I only have so much bandwidth as a human being, okay? So I was really curious about how could I learn about platform mediumship techniques. And Anthony Mrocka was offering a class in Phoenix, Arizona last weekend, even though he's from the New York, New Jersey area like me. So before I begin, I just want to let you know, I've trained in Asia, I've trained in the UK, I've trained in the USA. And one in particular class that I took was at Arthur Findlay College in the UK in Stansted. And I learned a lot about evidential mediumship through their program. It's a college for psychics and mediums. And so that was amazing. And I got to see all of the mediums provide platform mediumship where they read to large groups of people. It is based off the Spiritualist Church. The Spiritualist Church is all about proving life after death. So if you ever want to go have a live medium reading or see them in action, join your local Spiritualist Church, okay? And that was great. But the week that I took my training wasn't on platform mediumship. It was really about some developmental foundational things I wanted and needed for my platform, for my mediumship skills. So Anthony Mrocka, found him through someone else who added me to a group, who added me to something else. And I said, hey, I'm looking for someone to teach platform mediumship. Found him. And I was drawn to him just because Anthony Mrocka's Mrocka. He's all over the web. He's an amazing evidential medium. His storyline is amazing. He had a past of addiction and finally gave his life over to God and said, how do I serve? And being from New York, New Jersey, and one thing, so I was really attuned to him. Not that I've had a past in addiction, but I have a brother that, has an addiction problem. I'm from New York, New Jersey. He's a lot younger. He's not English. He's a lot more just hip and witty. Like he wears Nike sneakers when he does his work. And I've learned it's really important to attune to your teacher to learn. It doesn't, for me, like the more I can attune to them and the more I feel like, wow, our souls connect and match, the better learning experience I'm going to have. Okay. And you know, and that's what I felt. My guides had guided me to him. So, again, what I like about Anthony Mrocka style, he's all about doing it your way. He gives you kind of the outline and techniques, and then he says, you know, kind of make it your own. And I have found that I work best with teachers like that than teachers who try to put you in these very tight boxes, these very conservative boxes, which can happen sometimes depending on the organization in which you're learning from. So Anthony Mrocka is my new favorite. Check him out. Go to his YouTube channel. Go to his shows. He performs all over the country. If he has some more classes, try to go to him. But today I wanted to review in particular, his platform mediumship class, okay, and what we learned and how I know that my medium skill sets have developed. So of course, it was a two-day workshop, Saturday and Sunday, and you know, in between all of that, I was reading this book again, Where Two Worlds Meet by Janet Nohavak. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. If you are serious about mediumship, you have to get this book. She's amazing as to how she basically breaks down how to work with the mediums. And so with that, in Janet's book, she talks about having a system, and I really wish I knew about this years ago. I had this book and kind of ignored it, read half of it. But basically, if you're a medium, and mediums know what I'm talking about, we have to have a system to help spirit tell us how they want to deliver information to us, right? So, you know, are you old or young? How did you die? Are you a man or a woman? You know, how are you connected to this person once I link into them? And so we really learned how to run a system. But what Anthony did was to make sure that when you are dealing with hundreds of people or 10 people, when you start your system, there's like 28 pieces of evidence that a spirit can show you that Janet outlined in her book. But when you first start looking for who that link is, who that client is in a group, who that spirit belongs to, you need to run about 3 pieces of evidence. And so Anthony showed us very quickly, just get like, you know, man or woman, young or old at the time of death, and the type of death as much as you can, whether it's illness, suicide, homicide. And this was so key because normally by the time you've gotten those 3 main pieces of evidence, depending on where it is, somebody says, I can take that. And then normally your spirit guides you to a particular part of the room. So you kind of know the area of the group that you're about to start to work with, okay? And that for me was so powerful because I was like, wow, okay, how the hell do I try to figure out who the spirit belongs to in 100 people? That part was so powerful. That was a game changer for me. So now when I start to read to groups, I'll know how to really start to hook into that first. Take just a little bit, because the more evidence you give, the more chances that someone at an audience is going to say no. Give the least amount of information possible, and then work deeper. And then if you get 2 or 3 people that say yes, then you keep giving more evidence until you eventually get to your one person. And spirit is there. There's spirit intelligence that will help you. But by having a system in place, they can help you even better. Okay, so he did teach us that. So that was really important. The second thing that was so dope and so powerful for me was something called speed linking that he had us running through. It was like he was like a drill sergeant. He had us like reading for each other quickly with spirit. True story, guys. I can give you a psychic reading in my sleep, when I'm brushing my teeth, when I'm traveling, when I'm doing my hair, when I'm on Facebook talking junk. I can give you a psychic reading at any time. A medium reading, I got to sit for like 98 minutes, sit with self, pray and pray. It's just this whole process. And part of it is that I had learned a technique coming out of another institution that made me feel like if I didn't do this, 20-minute meditation to be able to open up to spirit, I wasn't going to get spirit, which is ironic because before I had learned that technique, I had been connecting with spirit before then really quite easily. So, training is it can be a double sword. But basically in this moment, we stand, it's like, it was 10 of us, 5 and 5, and we quickly in front of someone connect with a spirit. We just, I open up my auric field, and that's a technique called sitting in the power, which I'll add to this YouTube channel at some point. Opening up my auric field and calling in someone in, and then quickly looking at the person across from you and just promoting evidence. I've got a man, I got a woman, I've got a child, they died like this. Me, I have clear audience. So like the first woman I got, I was like niece, and I have a woman who, died from, a heart attack. She was kind of middle age. Can you accept that? Yes. And I got at least 5 people, and I mean in record time. He was giving us at first 2 minutes, then we got 1 minute, then we had 30 seconds to pull a spirit out the ether and bring them into that person. And he was like Just get it out. It doesn't matter, not what you're saying, but don't try to be right. Just try to connect and get it out. It may not be someone that person knows it connects to. The point is the practice. That speed linking, you know what it taught me? It taught me, number one, I am closer to spirit than I realized. Number two, I don't have to go through all of these huge rituals to connect with spirit. I can connect with spirit just as easily as I can with my psychic gifts. I have to just trust and know that speed is still available to me. The veil for a psychic medium is not there. We don't have that veil that everyone else has. There's no veil between the living and the dead for us. So I always say I stick my head in. It's quick, okay? So that was vital to me. I have a whole new level of confidence that I can speak to spirit very quickly. I don't have to do all this prepping and that. I can also pull more than one spirit. With that said, he also taught us something called double linking. Oh, okay, so let's talk about this. So double linking is basically when two mediums stand on the stage and they try to link into the same spirit and provide evidence and message from that spirit. Baby. Y'all, when he said that shit, okay, I had a couple of different feelings on it. When he said that, I was like, okay. First of all, I was like, you see, right now, I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be crazy. I don't want to do it. And I love being a medium. I feel like it's such a gift from Goddess, and I'm so blessed to have it, even on the days when I'm exhausted and don't want to hear any more sad stories. I'm really blessed to be a psychic medium and be able to serve in this way. But I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. So and at the same time, I didn't want to do it because I was so stressed about what if I don't get the same spirit as the person standing there? I have no stage fright. I love the stage. I will perform for anyone, anywhere. That's my background. Stage fright is not my issue. My issue is, can I link in with someone? Are we going to have the same person? Are we going to sound crazy? And will spirit show up? Because no matter how many times you do this, sometimes you think, oh my God, is spirit going to show up? And I've been doing this 5 years. So I've done the work, but there's still always many years to go in the game, so I still consider myself kind of not necessarily a newbie, but a junior, maybe. I'm not sure. Anyway, so double linking. Then the other part of me, and this is my ego, I was like, I don't know if I really want to work with someone else in this way. I don't know if I need to be doing all of that. So that was me, being a little, but I also was just more nervous about it, but it was amazing. And so what I did, because I was nervous and I was like, I don't want to have to try to find the person's spirit. I don't want to have to follow them. And what if I don't catch the same person? The first time I jumped up, I was the lead linker. So I would get the spirit initially and the person with me had to connect in. So we did several rounds of that, and it was amazing. It was amazing for one, to be able to work with my fellow medium in this way and connecting with spirit. Number two, it's amazing how much a spirit can, dial down into two mediums or three mediums at the same time, and you both can share information for the sitter. Number three, what was dope about it was that more people came in. More people, like in my last one I did, I literally had 3 souls that came in, and that was really dope that I had 3 souls that came. Now in my one-on-ones, I've had 5 or 6 people come in. If spirit knows you're there, they're going to catch up with you. They're going to be like, hey, let's take a pit stop with this person because she's got our loved one and we want to get a message to her. So that was beautiful, and I'm definitely looking for a community of mediums to continue to do double linking with, because it's just dope. It's like a bigger show, it's more information, and if you find someone you really flow with, it's the synchronicity, it's just fun, the energy. So it's amazing that I was so scared of that, and it's one thing now I'm looking forward to practicing more and more. So overall, I really, really love Anthony Mrocka. He is my new favorite. I think the Platform Mediumship class, I could have done it for a week. It was 2 days. It was very impactful. His style is big brother that's protective, but also kind of knocks you around in your head / kind of sweet, gentle dad. In other words, he puts you to the test, but he's very gentle in the way that he does things. But because he's this New York guy, his energy is very masculine and assertive. So it's there's just this interesting contrast there with both his energy and his teaching style. But if you're looking for someone who's encouraging, if you're looking for someone to give you, kind of that stewardship, if you're looking for someone who is very hands-on in their teaching and has no problem answering questions. That's what I also loved about Anthony Mrocka. He'll sit there and answer 75 questions. He'll share his story, and he'll push you when you need it, he'll encourage you when you need it. So Anthony Mrocka, I want to say a big, big thank you. You have helped me improve my mediumship. I feel so confident in doing group readings and platform readings. In 2019, I'm coming off the web and I'm coming in real time. And, I wish you could take me on as a one-on-one mentee, but you don't have space. gonna send you this video though. But guys, if you get to see Anthony in person, go to his website. You know, if you get to do it, he's booked out to January for his one-on-ones, but you can go see him live. And if you get to study with him at any point, definitely go. He is awesome. And last but not least, I just want to encourage any medium, any developing medium to pick up Janet's book. I'm going to do a review on this book as well on this channel to talk in depth about the book. So again, if you would like a psychic or medium reading with me, angel reading, baby reading, head over to www.zya.global. Make sure you subscribe, hit subscribe, and make sure that you click my notification button. I'm all over the web as Psychic Zya, and it was wonderful. Thank you for listening. Peace.